today is the 9th day of DIY and I'm going to be showing you how to do a painted blazer. This one over here was actually inspired by Yoko Ono's collection for opening ceremony initially. I was at opening ceremony the other day and I actually got to see the collection in person and it's so cool, and if you've seen it, or if you haven't, I'll put in pictures anyway, but she did some hand prints. They were more focused on pants, but I figured since a lot of my viewers are a little bit younger, at least judging by your usernames, QTPie98, here's looking at you, I thought maybe I should do something a little more appropriate, and you know, it's a little more wearable too, to not have hands painted on your butt. So I decided to put the hands on a blazer. Looking back, dietblond Furstenberg and Rodarte also did hand-printed things for fall, so I think this is just a really cool DIY, very on trend, and you know, it looks really cool too. It's not just like a trend item, I think it's like classic with a twist, that kind of idea. So it's really simple. It's just painting on fabric. It sort of took me back to my galactic blazer days. That was one of the first videos I uploaded to YouTube and also one of my most viewed and commented on and liked and favorited videos, so this is nostalgic, I guess. So what you're going to need is a blazer. I just thrifted this one. It was only $1 at Salvation Army because I got it on Dollar Day. You'll also need a sort of thicker piece of paper. I'm just using the back of a magazine cover to make your template for your hand out of, and also a Sharpie, and you're also going to need some scissors. And of course paint. I'm using black and white. You can use any color you want, and also an acrylic mixing medium. Now, one of the most popular questions on my galactic blazer, and pretty much any time I paint on fabric, is, won't the paint wash off? Won't it make your clothes stiff? Does it bleed? Any variation of those questions. So I'm going to answer them all right now. I wouldn't put something up that, you know, was going to wash off in the wash. That's not what I'm about. That's why I don't make things by, you know, just gluing them on. You know, I don't just like, for my sequin DIY, I didn't just glue the stuff on the sweater. I actually showed you how to sew it on so that these DIYs can be long lasting. So as long as you do use that acrylic mixing medium, and even acrylic generally doesn't come off clothes for a long time, so even if you just do acrylic on its own, it should stay. But for extra security, you can use the mixing medium. It sort of softens the paint a little. I found it makes it not so like crispy when it dries, and so you can find that at any craft store. You just mix in a few drops with your paint and it will be totally fine in the wash. It won't come off, it won't stain your other clothes, it won't bleed or anything. And then as long as you don't paint too many layers on, you know, just the bare minimum to get the coverage that you want, your fabric shouldn't get too hard or crunchy or stiff. And since it's such a small area of fabric that you're covering with paint, it shouldn't be a problem at all. So hopefully that answers any questions you may have about those topics. On to the tutorial. So the first thing you have to do is just take your hand and, like you're making a Thanksgiving turkey, just trace it out onto that thick piece of paper that you have, and just after you've done that you can sort of stylize the shape a little bit. My hand turned out kind of fat, so I just went in with my Sharpie and sort of traced it a little bit thinner and more elongated to look more like my inspiration. Then you can just go ahead and cut that piece out. Then after you've figured out where you want to place the hands on your blazer, you can just go ahead and trace them on with a pencil, or you could use a fabric pencil or chalk or disappearing marker or something like that. I just used a pencil. So just trace the hand where you want it to be on the blazer, or you know, any garment that you're using. You could really do this on any garment. You could do the hands on the pants if you want to. I think that looks cool. I just wouldn't wear it. Anyways, just trace your hands where you want them to be. I decided to go for the back of the blazers because I thought it would be kind of cool, like, I don't know, it looks like somebody's giving you a hug or something, but you could do it like on the front or on the pockets or something. It's totally up to you. I hope, you know, just go with whatever you like, but this is what I went with. So I just traced it and then I just went ahead and started painting. Don't forget to put something underneath the blazer or the garment before you start painting, just so you don't bleed on your carpet or your table or whatever surface you're using. So I just mixed in a few drops of the mixing medium with my acrylic paint, and just follow the directions on the outside of the bottle. I think it's like a 2 parts paint to 1 part mixing medium, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what the directions are for the one I use. So just mix that up and just use your paintbrush to carefully outline the pencil shape that you just drew and fill it all in. After that's all dry, you're pretty much finished, and this is how mine turned out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you tomorrow.